guys! So today is the Hunger Games tag, and I love the Hunger Games almost as much as I love Harry Potter, but I love Harry Potter more. Sorry, Suzanne, but I love both the series, and they're both amazing. So I'm gonna do a tag on it. So here we go. My favorite book in the series was the first one because it kept me captivated the most. By the second and third one, of the idea of the Hunger Games and the way they were treated, it almost seemed like it was normal. Like, you know, this is the way life is. You accepted it. The only thing for them to do was to fight back. The first one almost left you in awe, wondering how someone could do this to these poor kids, and like how they thought it was acceptable. That they really thought that, you know, they were protecting the people of Panem, and they weren't. I mean, we all know that, but still. I wouldn't. My strategy would be similar to Peeta's and run for it, then worry about supplies later, but I doubt I would even make it out of the woods. Someone would catch me before then. Probably Cato. I didn't think that Peeta and Katniss would end up together. I loved Katniss. She was my favorite character in the book for her strength and stubbornness, but at the same time it bothered me because she had a perfectly good guy here in front of her, and she kept throwing him to the dogs. So I always thought she would end up alone, and when she finally let up, I was a bit surprised because after everything that had happened to her, I never thought she would. Like, I always thought she would end up winning the games and then end up alone somehow, even though she fought for her sister and everything. I was introduced to the Hunger Games in two different ways. My sister Dorothy insisted that I read the books. She said that I would really like them and wouldn't be able to put them down. At the time when she explained the premises, I was a bit disturbed in the fact that she found that entertaining, but I've never had Dorothy give me a bad book recommendation, so I was willing to try it. Things got busy, though, so I never got it until my book club was reading it, and then I figured I might as well take a swing at it. I read the first one in a day and immediately bought the next two. I ended up finishing all three books before we even met to talk about the first one. My favorite moment was when Katniss and Peeta fell in love, and not because they fell in love, but because Katniss finally allows herself to be loved by someone. For so long, all she did was take care of other people, and she never took care of herself. I mean, she was a 16-year-old girl, and she was more worried about where the next meal would come for her family instead of boys and friends, you know, things that she should be, thinking about. When she finally let Peeta love her, she showed me that she truly was a girl at heart and wanted to be loved. She was just scared, which, honestly, given her circumstances, I really don't blame her. I also like the moment where Katniss volunteers for Prim. As sad as it is to see Prim be picked after everything Katniss said that she wouldn't be picked, it was admirable what Katniss did, and it set her character really well because it showed that she was a strong individual and was willing to do anything to save her family, but mostly her sister. I know it sounds cliche, but my favorite character was Cato. I just thought for a villain he was just so badass. Like, I loved that he was such a misunderstood character. All he really was trying to do was survive when people thought he was trying to win to make his district proud. He was really just the same as every other kid in the Hunger Games, but his strategy was not to get attached and be prepared to die. However, he was willing to do anything and everything to make sure that it didn't happen, even if it meant using people and then killing them. I have two favorite characters, and it's going to sound cliche, but Katniss and Peeta are my favorite characters. But let me tell you why. I'm not just saying that because they're the two main characters. I love Katniss because she's a strong, misunderstood character. She's so much wiser than her years. She shows very little emotion to people because of the weight she has to carry on her shoulders, but she carries it with grace. She is loyal to her family, especially to Prim when she volunteers herself for her own sister. Katniss is definitely a girl that you could have little girls look up to. You know, she's there, you know, and that's what matters. Peeta, I just love his nature. He's always has the perfect answer for everything, and his love for Katniss is undeniably endless. He takes care of her through the entire games, even when you think, and even Katniss at the time thinks he's not. He always puts her first and himself second, even if it means sudden death or even a long, painful death. I'd like to say I'd live in District 12, just because that would be awesome and sad at the same time. But I don't think I would. I think I would be in District 4, where they do fishing and water. And I love the beach and the water, and I do love to fish, so I could see myself living there, meeting myself a nice Finnick and making a living off fishing. Probably in the first book, when Cato, Peeta, and Katniss were in the cornucopia fighting to the death. I knew Cato wasn't going to live because, he just couldn't. He was the bad guy. And it just doesn't end like that. Katniss had to live, but I was worried how Peeta would die. I never expected them both to live at all. Like, I really thought it was going to come down to, Katniss was going to have to choose, and she was going to choose herself, or she was going to choose Peeta. So there was always this, slim chance I thought maybe Katniss wouldn't live. My dad passed away in 2009, so I would take the 2 rings I was given when he died. Of course, I am sad to say while fighting for my life, I probably would lose them because he was a man, so his fingers are bigger. I would have to wear them around my neck and hope a mini Cato didn't grab the necklace off my neck and choke me with it or something. I know it sounds a little morbid and stuff, but it's true. I think the most evil plan was when President Snow killed Seneca, and you didn't even know that he was killed until the second book. And when the Capitol trained Peeta to hate Katniss. Though I do want to add, in the movie, I thought it was so cool how Gary Ross killed Seneca, and how he actually told the story that Seneca did die before Catching Fire came out, so you knew that he was dead, which was pretty cool. Well, I already saw the film 7 times in the theaters, and now I own the film, so I will have to answer this question in 2 ways. First, one of the things I was most excited about seeing in the film before I saw it was how they did the games. I knew they wouldn't show all the gory details because they wanted to make a PG-13 movie, so I was interested to see how they would make the games. For Catching Fire, I can't wait to see how the entire movies go, because sadly Gary Ross is not the director anymore, but we do have a new director, which is good. I forget his name, it's something Lawrence or Lawrence something. But I just want to see the difference between the two of them and how they envisioned the story. Gary Ross envisioned it a certain way. Now I want to see how this guy envisions the story and taking Suzanne Collins' story and bringing it to life. It will be interesting to see the difference. Okay, guys, so that's it. That's the Hunger Games tag, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that you do it yourself, especially if you love the Hunger Games as much as me or the next person. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!